Hi there, it's Jessie here, and a big fat warm welcome to this big fat warm channel. Where am I? Where the bloody hell am I? Took a spontaneous trip to another country even. Imagine. I was invited here by someone I've never met in the flesh. We only communicated online, and he invited me to come and visit, and here I am. He invited me yesterday morning, and by the evening I was here. Crazy. The advantages of working for yourself. You know what? Evolving takes work. Because whatever happened through my life experience, I was conditioned in a certain way I believed my role was to serve or please the people around me. And, that's affected me a lot in the dating world, because my focus is always, do they like me? Am I too much? Have I done something wrong? And all my focus is on their perception of me, and if I'm doing it right to please them. And after some serious thought, it becomes obvious that my focus needs to be, what do I want? Do I want them? Are they showing up in the way that I want and need? And I can know that rationally and intellectually, and then thrust me into a position where I have to put that into practice. And my default setting goes to, even to the point where I start performing. And I'm not being totally authentic. I'm in the mask of performing and making the space and the time together enjoyable. And I know I can do that. And what's interesting is I bring that. I know I can bring that. I know what I can bring. And what I've got to practice is giving them the opportunity to show me what they bring. Oh my God, that's easier said than done. I'll tell you that for free, because I'm so hardwired to have a harmonious experience that I will take the lead on that if needs be. It's just not the way to choose a romantic partner. So, one thing is the theory, isn't it? And another thing is the practice. And again, I keep going to this default setting thing because I'm suddenly seeing the human system as a machine. And it's interesting that we refer to the body as a machine a lot, but only since we've had machines. And I really wonder how we used to refer to psychology and understanding of the human brain before we had machines. Maybe it was whatever technology we had, like steam engine, and making me think I'm running out of steam. So there we use steam engines. But what was it before that? I'm running out of ink. Anyway, I saw this AI podcast. So YouTube's giving me all sorts of juicy stuff at the moment. A lot of he said, she said, as in people sharing their side of a story. And, a podcast has come out and then everyone's response to the podcast. Now, I'm devouring this content. I find it fascinating in every way to hear everyone's points of view. And I love that we all have our own opinions. And I love that people can share them, those that do. But I'll share my two piece. What sort of bothers me is that we're looking for an objective truth when we might not necessarily understand what that means with our human brain. I'm not saying I understand it or even that I don't. I just don't know. And what I feel, with this fundamental understanding that we are all one, that the purpose of a discussion or debate or argument should be to reach a common goal. Like, what is the common goal? here. Even if our opinions completely differ, for sure there's something we both want. But if we're going into a conversation of like, I need to persuade this person to change their truth because I'm right and they're wrong, where the hell are you going to get with that? The other person's immediately not going to feel respected or like you care about what they think or feel, and will be defensive and will be arguing for their point. And, you know, where's this common ground? What do we want to achieve from this debate? Maybe you just want to be heard. Maybe you want to reach, I don't know, whatever it is. We've got to start there, don't you think? I'm sure you do, because you're here watching me. Sat under a tiny tree. This tree is so tiny. Honestly, I'm sat down and it's just here. Can you hear the birds? There is such a beautiful bird here, and it's probably really common, but it's so beautiful. It looks like one of those wrens, you know, the ones that fish, kingfisher. Is it a kingfisher? No, it's not a kingfisher. Like a stork, but tiny and smooth and white with little brown feathers. Very elegant. There I am gawking at it, but I think it's as common as a pigeon in these parts. Tiny tree. Anyway, it's good to be spontaneous. It's good to trust judgment of character, because I have obviously come here and I told some people and they were like, what the flip are you doing? Flying to another country to meet somebody online. That's dangerous. That's irresponsible. And I trust my judgment of character. And I also trust myself in a situation, and I also trust that I'm very protected. As in, there is always someone to help us out. I have a core belief. I have this core belief, and that's a really nice one to have. When did it happen? I was thinking this. I was sharing this yesterday. You know, because a lot of times in my childhood, I remember key moments where a belief was formed, but usually I'm focusing on the negative. But that was it. I was at college, and we were on a night out, and there's lots of people out on the town. And very unfortunately, somebody had been hit by a car, and they were unconscious on the ground. The ambulance was still coming, and the cousin was there, and she was really in a bad state, like really distraught. And there's like 20 of us watching this scene from a distance. Anyway, she turns around and she obviously needs a place to dispel her anger and hurt and grief. And so she turns on me. There's 20 people, right, watching, and she turns on me and starts attacking me. What are you doing here? Why are you watching? This isn't a show. Da 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 da. Now, I was 17. I didn't have the consciousness to know that she was grieving and going through that, and I could not take that personally. But I did. Well, I defended myself. All I said was, why on earth are you taking this out on me when there's 20 people here? What on earth have I done? You know? Anyway, I didn't think much of it. Rumor spreads around the college that this girl is not happy with me. I don't think anything of it. Until about a month later, I'm on a night out again. And I'm outside the club with some friends. And out of nowhere, my big rugby guy friend picks me up, hoists me over his shoulder, and carries me off. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He puts me down and was like, this girl was about to beat you up. It was like all planned. It was this whole thing. Everyone knew about it. And he came along and just whisked me out of the situation. And I believe a core belief was formed in that moment that I'm safe. And there's people looking out for me. And I won't get into harm because I've got people looking out for me. And it's good to also recount the good things, you know, and the good beliefs that were formed. So I'm really hungry. I'm going to go and have some lunch. Thank you for watching. So guys, like it if you liked it. Let us know your thoughts down below. Hit subscribe if you would like more random content. Otherwise, have a beautiful day, beautiful life, and you know it, we got this.